Okay, so I'll take questions, but I'm only taking questions on topic, no off-topic questions. No, I won't permit you to. I told you that there's going to be only on-topic questions today, so permission denied. That's an off-topic question. I think you understand that I'm answering on-topic questions today, not off-topic questions because I don't want to. You have been stopped. There's no chance I'm answering those questions. Anything else on topic?
Okay. Marker. Welcome to Super Pixels Weekly, a podcast about video game news and anything else revolving around video games and the nerd subculture. We are your co-hosts. I'm Donovan.
And I'm William. Our show is available on all major podcast platforms and in video form on our YouTube channel. Come hang out with us over on our personal Twitch and YouTube channels as well. Links for those will be down in the description. Real quick, I just started streaming, so go hit up my Twitch. Come hang out. I'm playing Elden Ring. Hella Elden Ring. Probably gonna play Elden Ring for the rest of my life, to be honest. But yeah, go hang out over there. World's Okayest Gamer, 2 R's on the end. Come to my Twitch, hang out, and yeah, that's it.
He's one of the suggested streamers in the subcategory of my page on Twitch. If you're in the Twitch chat, or if you're listening right now on the recording, because it's going to be running back. One last thing, though, you can get some sweet deals on PC games through the Instant Gaming link down below on Twitch. If you're here on my About Me section, it's down there. It's a hyperlink. If you're listening, it's going to be in the description. And then also, if you ever wanted to donate to us, which we'll talk about, I guess we'll address the elephant in the room, all these psychopaths in chat who are just going bananas right now. What you can actually do is donate to Extra Life. So, excuse me. The link for that is in the description if you're listening on the audio feedback. And then if you're live on Twitch with us, it's going to be in the About Me section. There's a big blue banner, an Extra Life thing. There's also an information thingy down there that explains to you what Extra Life does through the Children's Healthcare Network. So, with that being said, don't give us a giant paper check, come to our houses, donate to the kids, because kids can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't wait for the audio feedback to come through, because I can already just tell that we're going to have to fight the good fight, trying to explain all these crazy sounds. So if you're listening on the audio recording and I get to future me, this is for you in the editing, sucks to suck, the chat's trolling, so that's cool. They're trolling in the best way, because they're here and helping out. It's lighthearted fun, but the whole time I'm like, oh god, Jesus, I can't get the noises right. Because we've usually streamed or podcasted to not an audience at all, so nothing ever goes wrong or anything like that. So
yeah, that's how it was back in the day. We did not used to do live. We didn't even used to have cameras. Came a long way.
We have 3 cameras now. I got mine here for the Skype call and then the Twitch chat. So
yeah.
You're an influencer now. You have a ring light.
I know, that's crazy. It's a cheap ass ring light, but all I need is a mic and shit. But before we jump into the show, I want to open this beer.
Okay, yeah.
People probably heard of this brand. Y'all like Terrapin? Los Bravos?
I've never heard of that beer, so please.
So, well, I guess it's probably more of a Georgia thing. This is an Athens brewery, but Los Bravos is the name of my wife's family's Mexican restaurant. So, go hit up that restaurant. If you live in the Atlanta area, go to Los Bravos. Go eat some Mexican food. Shit slaps. Let's drink.
That was a big boy crack. That was. Your wife was just like, "Oh, you didn't do the music intro." I definitely did. It's playing.
It's there.
All of you can hear it. I know you can hear it.
Bumping in the BG.
Yeah. So if you're listening, the description is going to have everything about Jippy too. But he's a independent music artist. We use his discography in the background, so that's all those sweet beats that you hear live on the show or on the audio recording. So. Go click on the link and support them, because he's pretty cool. And then also he's kind of a pay what you can / what you want for discography. I mean, I paid full price because I got to support, but yeah.
No, shout out to people that make beats and let people use them for free, because that's you're doing God's work.
Yeah,
out there.
those DMCA free shit. Yeah.
The guy behind fucking Stream Beats, dude. Man's a
Oh
legend.
yeah, Harris Heller. I use Harris Heller too.
Yeah, he's goated with the sauce.
Goated with the sauce, as the chat says. He's a quirked up white boy.
On my YouTube channel, I took some clips from a stream that me and Lo Mesa did on Elden Ring, condensed it down into a video, put some Harris Heller in the background. It's like a chill Elden Ring video. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. So
yeah, like, oh, excuse me, I'm drinking a beer as well, but it's a local PA brewery, so it just tastes like Amish. Yeah, that fucking burp literally threw me off. I forgot what I was gonna say.
You good?
Yeah,
It just,
no,
like, made you lose your memory?
It was an amnesiac burp. I don't know. Holy shit, what was I gonna talk about? The editing. Yeah, so editing, like when you're talking about like adding music and stuff and like making making content, I guess essentially. Like it's fun, but then like now that like since I've been the like quote unquote editor in chief the entire time, life gets in the way. So then I'll forget, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put the show out, you know, like Monday morning or Sunday night, and then like my daughter will like, hey dad, let's do this or whatever. Like there's this game that like a lot of the toddlers around the world are playing. Like it's not Minecraft anymore. It's like Poppy Playtime. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I thought you were like Roblox or something.
So yeah, I mean, it started there, but Poppy Playtime is like, it's actually pretty fucking terrifying. Like now, like since I played, she was like, "Hey, Dad, can we play this?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll buy it on Steam because it's like $2. Like, who cares?" It's fucking terrifying, dude. All right, it's so like if you get a chance, Google Huggy Wuggy. It's like this giant blue thing, right, with just a fucking like mouthful of teeth. And it chases you through fucking vents, and I'm like, you like to my daughter, like I'm like, you find this entertaining? Because it's fucking terrifying.
It's like a game?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's marketed as a kid game, but like, it fucking super duper not.
Well, also isn't like Five Nights at Freddy's like?
Well, yeah, it's along the same lines as Five Nights at Freddy's, where it's like just like a childlike horror thing, because like Five Nights at Freddy's or FNAF, if you're one of the OGs, is like. Fucking yeah, it's like setting a fucking dilapidated Chuck E. Cheese, and you just gotta like survive until sunrise because the animatronics are coming alive to fucking murder you.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like you go to this abandoned toy factory, and like because I guess you used to work. I don't know the lore, but it's fucking deep and condensed for 5-year-olds. I don't know why the fuck that's a thing. There's like a Poppy Playtime wiki, and I was like, why is that a thing? But like we're playing this game, and you go like you make your way through the toy factory or whatever, and you get this like piece of equipment called a grab pack, which is just like two hands, and like they're on like retractors, and you use it to like open doors and like grab shit. But there's like a section when like you're supposed to leave the factory, and you go through this door, and like you can, like me being an adult, you can fucking smell the jump scare like 10 miles away, because it's like a hallway and it opens up and it's just like a black curtain. And you're like, all right, cool, yep, no, got it. And you walk up to it, and then boom, the alarm goes off, and this fucking thing's just like skulking towards you, and you have to run into the vents, like the little toy conveyor belt. And then you, like, another thing, which I don't want to say that I'm a bad parent, because I like to think that I'm like, all right, but we're getting involved in this game.
Yeah.
You literally kill this fucking toy monster with a box. Like, you drop a giant box in its head, and it fucking explodes. Yeah, like, the whole time I'm like, this is not for kids. But then she introduced it to me, and like I swear to God, it's all that this child talks about. So like, am I a bad parent? Is that like, is that a thing? Like,
I don't know, dude. That game's pretty fucked. Like it sounds kind of.
It really is, dude. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like, how old is your daughter right now?
She's 5. She's gonna be 6 in June in the summer. Yeah.
I was gonna say at that age you were probably playing GTA, but probably not yet.
Yeah, I mean,
getting there. Definitely getting there.
Well, no, so another thing is like Peppa Pig. Like, welcome to Super Pixels Weekly, a parenting podcast. There's like this other thing called like Piggy. It's like Peppa Pig, but it's like a fucked up, like, demented version of it. And like, it's a Roblox mini game that these kids play now on their little fucking shitty iPads that they all have, where like it's like a Peppa Pig sprite, like, oh, Peppa Pig, like a little Cockney British kid. But it's got like red eyes and has a bat, and like it literally is like, it's like Among Us, but also like Dead by Daylight, where like Peppa Pig is chasing these kids around, these Roblox things around, and they have to get key cards and shit and get out of like the map. And I'm like, yo, like when I was a kid, I was playing. I mean, I can't really say that I'm at fault because I feel like I was raised on like scary video games. Because like I talked about episode or part 1 of Games That Made Us. Like I remember being like 6 and playing Resident Evil 2 with my dad on PlayStation. So like
Yeah.
But like these app dudes are like, or these app developers are making these little fucking games for these kids, and they're like, I don't know, am I growing up? Am I an old person now? Because I feel like all of our parents in the 90s were like, video games are violent, and they're causing this kid, they caused Columbine, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's anything, because like that's the exact same thing that, I mean, parents were saying back then. So like, we're over here playing fucking No Russian on Modern Warfare 2, like, and we grew up fine. So.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, well, not all of us.
That's an operative word, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, at least I played No Russian, and I'm fine. So, if you
I haven't
played No Russian and you grow up to be a good person, hey, you did good.
You got the spine of an Elden Lord. Yeah, I haven't. Can't say that after I played No Russian, I had any type of inclination to go shoot up a fucking airport with a literal belt-fed machine gun. So you know, that's a win in my book. I feel, right? Like.
Yeah, but also cannot say the same for other people. So I see where the video game argument comes in, but you can't just pin it on just video games. So.
No, I think it is kind of a cop-out to blame it on video games.
For sure.
But
for sure.
Anyway, that was a fucking huge tangent that we went off on.
Didn't expect to talk about any of that.
No.
We're back with news. We haven't done news in like a month, so
yeah, at all actually.
Yeah, we've been fucking just vibing on Elden Ring and talking to fucking X. So, but we're back on our shit. It's time to talk about some news. And our first story is MPD. Came out today, and MPD is, we've done MPD before, basically like the sales figures of the top games of the last month, and Elden Ring absolutely fucking dominated every game that came out last month, and it beat out Horizon Forbidden West, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and
that's surprising.
Yeah, so Pokemon Legends actually came out in January, but Horizon and Dying Light 2 came out in February, and Elden Ring swept them.
Goddamn right it did.
I don't know the exact sales figures, but it's number one best-selling of the month, and Elden Ring is the highest-selling game in 2022 so far as well, which isn't really surprising. I feel like none of this is
this is not surprising. We're regurgitating everything that we already knew, like, to be completely honest with you.
Launch month sales of Elden Ring were the second highest for any track title released in the past 12 months, trailing only Call of Duty Vanguard, because of course Call of Duty wins, always.
Yeah.
You hate to see it. But what's insane about this to me is Elden Ring came out on February 25th, and February only has 28 days. Like
so for 3 days, 3 days of the month, it annihilated.
It beat everything. I think, to be honest, I think Horizon would give it a run for its money if it wasn't locked to just PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because Elden Ring was highest selling on Xbox and PC, but Horizon was best selling on PlayStation, of course, because it's a PlayStation exclusive. But fucking, hey, congrats to Elden Ring. We've given this game so many flowers at this point.
There are no more flowers left to give it, honestly.
I don't know how much more we can praise this game for what they did. This game is incredible. If you're not playing Elden Ring, fucking seriously consider it. I've never been a Souls fan. I've never been into those games at all, and I decided to pick this game up, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'm over 20 hours in now, and it's fantastic.
So the one thing about that too, you bringing that up, is I think the reason it's doing so, not just like one of like the main reason it's doing so well, but one of the main reasons it's doing so well is the fact that it is, I think we've talked about it multiple times, and I'm going to say it again, it's the most user-friendly / like pick up Souls game where like there's actually a tutorial, and then if you just read the menus and the pop-ups and shit, it actually explains stuff to you. Whereas like Demon Souls or like Bloodborne or something, where it's just like you boot the game up and you get that cool little intro cutscene or whatever, where it gives you like a lore dump, and then just literally drops you into the lore, into the world, and it's like, all right, man, go ahead. And you're like, what do I do? And they're like, yeah. You're like, no, I'm like, where's the first boss? Like, I don't know, find him. I don't know, like.
Yeah, well, that's what I hear, like, with the old Souls games. It's like the story isn't as in front of you, and you have to, like, to the point where you have to read weapon descriptions to get lore, which is
you
insane.
Get, like, you get actual descriptions about bosses from weapon descriptions, because it tells you, like, oh, this belonged to blankety blank blank, and he was the blankety ruler of blank, and you're like, oh, cool, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. That sounds like something I would not follow at all. To be honest, the Elden Ring story, like, I know bits and pieces, but the problem I'm having with this game is because I suck so bad, like, I'm having like 10 hours between cutscenes because it takes me so long to advance the story, so I don't remember what's happening.
I'm glad you said it. Your words, not mine, but I am going to bring this up, and I'm not going to let you live it down, and it's going to be on the annals of the internet forever.
Fuck you, dude. Why you gotta do this to me?
All right, so everybody that's here, William is. I was playing Elden Ring last night, just like, just playing, getting my fucking shit stomped by some like zombie dragon and Caelid. But by the way, fuck Caelid, fuck that area and the entire part of the map. It's
I can
shit.
back that.
It's dog shit. But the whole point of that is William and his wife Crystal, they're playing, and we're in voice chat, and he's just like, "Damn, dude, I wish you could run." And I was like, what?
Which Crystal said that because I told her you can't. She was like, "Oh, I wish we could sprint in this game."
Oh, so you did this?
So she started the game yesterday, and we're playing. She's like, "Oh, can you sprint?" I'm like, "No, you can't. Like, I wish you could, but you can't." And then she said that when we were in the chat with you, and then this was when this happened. So
I gotta fix your camera on the stream real quick because it just went away.
Oh no.
Yeah, the lips didn't sync up. That's my bad. So
Okay.
leave it in live feed. So okay, I didn't know that she told, or that you told her that you couldn't run. So anyway, this man's like, "Damn, dude, yeah, I wish you could run." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, like you just move at this like turtle pace." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, just hold down the sprint." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Hold down the dodge button." And you were like, "Holy fucking shit, no way, dude!" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's a thing."
Dude, I lost my shit.
To make that even more of an insult, you were how far into 20 hours into the game?
Yeah, I'm about 22 hours into this game, level 42, and I just learned I could sprint last night. So I've been fighting bosses.
Honestly,
all these enemies with no sprint.
Yeah, honestly, that's actually pretty fucking sick, because you've just been taking the hits to the face, or like learning to parry or whatever, because like sprinting is the one way you get away from a lot of the fucking like bullshit attacks that a lot of bosses have.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed too. It's like, because like you'll get into a boss fight and you hit the boss and they drop down and you get the, what is it called, visceral, right?
Yeah.
So you get the visceral and you can run up and basically stab him in the fucking face. But I
crit.
Like, there's times where I don't reach the boss quick enough because I'm fucking just strutting over there.
Well, now you know that all those things were there for you.
Now I know
you lost all those visceral opportunities, which means that you made the game harder for yourself, but more rewarding, because your wife just called you in the chat the Walking King, which means that you strut up and you're like, "Fuck you! I don't need to do a crit to you. I'm gonna ankle bite you until you die." So
that's literally been it. I can't believe I've gone this long without sprinting. And there's so many times where like I'm trying to get away from an enemy, but they keep hitting me in the back, and I just can't get away because I'm so slow.
The trotting troubadour and the king of walking.
That's amazing. I'm pretty upset about that. But now I
am so happy about that, because it sucks because you feel like slighted by the game, because like, to be fair, it does tell you, it's like, "Hey, by the way, this is a new thing." like right when you spawn into the church in the beginning tutorial. It's like, hold down dodge to sprint. But you're probably like, whatever, clicking through menus and shit. Because the game dumps menus on you.
I don't remember it telling me that at all. Like,
but,
at all. I don't even remember what the tutorial told me, so.
Okay, well, that's fair. But so, now, think of it this way, though. Since you've never played another Souls game, sprinting is new to Elden Ring. Like, this is the first time you've ever been able to sprint. So, you've just been playing a Dark Souls game without sprint. Like, that's because that's how it was. So, so you're getting the crash course of how shitty it was, and then now you're like, this is great. Like,
I feel like subconsciously, maybe I thought there was no sprint because I've never seen people sprinting in Dark Souls. So.
Yeah, that's fair. They do have their own type of, like, marketing with their weird subconscious, like, guerrilla marketing with these games.
And also, everyone watching, to give you context of me in this game, a lot of people play this game and they look up guides, they look up where bosses are, they look up how to level up quickly, get runes, all this stuff. I don't look up anything. I just run around this game and just try to fight shit. So, yeah, that's me. I'm just having fun exploring, to be honest. The only thing I've looked up is Sleeping Dragon. That's it.
Well, yeah, because I was like, hey, bro, you wanna? I felt like a drug dealer. I was like, you wanna level up real quick? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, check this shit out. Like,
yeah, and then X texted me. He was like, dude, you should really kill the Sleeping Dragon. It's like super easy. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll fucking kill the Sleeping Dragon, dude. Do we keep talking about Elden Ring or what?
I mean, we should probably talk about the news that we said we are going to talk about, because this is the first time we have it now, you know?
Yeah, that's really it on MPD for Elden Ring. I just wanted to shout out Elden Ring. Also, shout out Horizon, Pokemon, Dying Light 2, all great games, you know? No slights at all.
I play Arceus when I go to bed at night, you know? Like, honestly.
I still haven't played it. Crystal's brother has it, though. He was showing me that shit. It looks pretty good. I would like to play it one day. Dying Light 2. Heard some things about it.
I watched a buddy in our Discord. He was streaming it for the Discord. And I loved the fuck out of Dying Light 1. Like, I thought it was like the best take, and it was like the most revolutionary zombie game ever because of the fact that it added parkour, because that's one of the things that I think, at least in my weird undiagnosed ADHD brain, that parkour would probably be the biggest skill set to have in a zombie apocalypse, only because everybody's seen Zombieland, everybody knows that rule number 1 is fucking cardio, so like...
True. Big facts.
Big factuals. So you add the fact that you're like, fuck you, zombie, I'm gonna Heisman you and run away, and then I'm gonna climb this building and I'm gonna give you the finger because you can't get to me because you're stupid. Like, it's fucking match made in heaven. And then I'm gonna duct tape some nails to my bat and beat your ass. Like, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the game.
That game is a nice contrast to stuff like Dead Rising, where you're just like, oh no, zombie, like...
Hello? Is anyone there?
No one gets what we're saying right now.
No, so that's an inside joke, actually. And we'll tell that, and then we'll do the news, I promise. So when William and I were really young, and Dead Rising 1 came out on the Xbox 360, there was this one fucking hardcore sleepover we had, and that sounds really bad without context, but let me clue you in. Where we, like, stayed up, because, like, up all night to us when we were kids was, like, 2 a.m. We were like, bro, we made it. But, like, dead ass, we launched we started a new game of Dead Rising 1, and it was at, like, I want to say it was like 8 p.m. or like maybe 7 p.m. or something, and we fucking legitimately stayed up until the goddamn sun came up. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning in like the summer, trying to fucking finish Dead Rising or beat Dead Rising or get the ending or whatever, like, you know, doing it. And that's with all the dumb shit that came with Dead Rising, where you had to like almost essentially do Dark Souls power leveling, where you'd go in and like you'd kill the dumbass bosses in Dead Rising, and you'd like, okay, like we would mentally make a note and be like, okay, this is where we can find a pistol, this is where the shotgun is, got it, and then make a run out and then fucking grab it and then try to like meet it. And I remember what stopped us was like the second to last like boss. It was like the big fat Chinese dude, Butcher.
The Butcher.
Yeah. And we
remember him.
We was just like, we couldn't do it, and like the clock was ticking, I think, because like we were like, it was like 8 a.m. and we were like, bro, I just like, we were running on fumes. We're like, I stopped. I quit. I can't do it.
It
like,
sucked, dude. We could not beat that guy.
I bet you could run it on your PC. We should try it. I think they have co-op. We should just do it now. Like, we should bring it back.
Dead Rising 1 has co-op?
Maybe
I don't
not.
know about
Maybe
that.
not.
Probably not.
We should just
I
do
don't
it
know how
anyway.
we would do
I'll
that.
do
We
it.
would
I'll do
have-
it on stream for you, hypothetically.
Matter
We'll
of
do it
fact,
together.
we need to get together in real life and then
Yeah, just
that
sit
shit.
down, stream
Yeah.
us on a couch, just playing Dead Rising on a 360. We got to make it
Yeah.
authentic. I'll have one. I got one on the
Be
shelf.
our own version of Couch Hop, sitting on the couch.
I was hoping for co-op, very much so, Siren. So thank you for rubbing salt in that wound. So that feels good. Feels bad, man.
But if you never played Dead Rising, go play Dead Rising.
Yeah,
Great game.
big shout out to Dead Rising, a game that came out 12 and a half, maybe almost 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, old as shit for sure. Well, let's move on though. So, Blizzard has separated Overwatch 2 PvP and PvE and announces a multiplayer beta for PC in April. So if you aren't aware, Overwatch 2 is going to have single player content, which is PvE, and then obviously traditional Overwatch PvP. They say this decision is meant to get multiplayer in your hands sooner while they work on PvE, so they're trying to, get PvE more up to par before they put it out with PvP. I still don't know how I feel about Overwatch 2. I just feel like it's kind of unnecessary. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about Overwatch?
So Overwatch, Overwatch is like I don't want to say sensitive subject for me or a sore subject, but like I have this extremely toxic relationship with Overwatch because when Overwatch came out, when it was pretty big, I want to say it was 2015 or 2016, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was right before I went to the Middle East. And like we were chilling, we had internet and stuff, so we were playing Overwatch on our laptops, and but we were in the Middle East, so we had to play on the Asian servers, so we were getting fucking absolutely shit on by all these goddamn Korean kids, and competitive is like that's one of my big things when I play online shooters or stuff like that. Like I like to always just jump into competitive, or with even Rocket League. Like competitive's a thing where I don't get too serious about it. Like I don't give a singular hot shit about my rank so much, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm just there to okay, am I good enough to fucking keep up with the big dogs or whatever. But Overwatch was next level for me because that would be a game that I would legitimately get mad at when I played competitive. And it wasn't even just me; it was all of us. We're at the point where we were at each other's throats, being you need to fucking tank better, you piece of shit.
You're not fucking healing, dude.
Yeah,
Why are you even
I swear to
You're not
God,
doing anything.
it would fucking tanked our friend group relationships overseas. But then we got back and we were all right, we'll play Overwatch casually and stuff like that, and it's fun. I have a good time with it. I'm not as good as I used to be, and I'm definitely not good in general even before. But I like Overwatch. I like to play it. Do I think that Overwatch 2 is necessary? Not so much, only because all the content that they've proposed or all the multiplayer stuff at least, right? Could just be updates for Overwatch 1. Or
Exactly.
rebuild the game engine and make it a little bit better and add maps and stuff or whatever their entire plan is with that. Because they've been doing it pretty effectively for the past fucking 6 years, right? With new character or new heroes and stuff like that. I do like the aspect of the single player stuff though, because a lot of the fun that I had with Overwatch was all the events, Junkenstein's Castle or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that because it'd be just us, a group of friends, 5-6 friends or whatever, and play. We played Junkenstein on the hardest difficulty to see because it was a big thing too. Because me being me, I'm a big slut for skins. That's my boy. Slut for Crab Rangoon and skins. And cosmetics and games, and that's the thing is that you got cosmetics, or there were additional, I don't want to say pachinko, but additional loot boxes you got from doing Junkensteins in a row. So that was one of the big things I did was just play Junkenstein a lot because you would get shit from it. And I mean, to be fair, all them characters be dummy thick. They do be thick. So, but no, but do I think it's necessary? Probably not. I am interested though in the single player aspect.
Yeah.
I want to know what that is because I actually really do like like one of my big things about video games is the lore. Like I really do like delving into lore, and like every time Overwatch or Blizzard would give you like a snippet of lore, like when it came to like the wars with the robots and stuff from the first game, like that'd be the shit that I get sucked into. Like the hero trailer in 2016 or 17 for Widowmaker, where she's assassinating the Zenyatta president, right?
Yeah.
And Tracer's there trying to stop it.
They have like comics and shit for like.
Yeah,
lore.
they have like extra stuff. Like I love that, absolutely. So if they're gonna have like some sort of actual lore based updates when it comes to Overwatch 2, and like you actually get to deep dive into the story, I think it'd be pretty fucking sick, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So in my opinion, when it comes to Overwatch 2, like PvE, I'm super down with. Just like you, story's cool. I'm down with that. When it comes to PvP, I'm just like, I mean, they've showed off, oh, this is what Overwatch 2 characters look like. And it's like, this looks like Overwatch. Like, this looks
that's all it is. Yeah, like, and I actually, so you probably know more about it than I do. Are some of the same characters in Overwatch 2? Like, is Tracer still there and shit? Like,
yeah, no, everyone's returning.
Oh, okay.
And
So yeah, like, what do you need it for, realistically speaking?
This is Overwatch 2. What they're doing is they stopped doing shit on Overwatch 1. They cut Overwatch 1 off. It's over. And now...
Okay, so they're all right. They're doing the shitty business thing, and they're, like, cutting support to the old game and being like, you want to play the old stuff, just play the new game. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of fucked.
They're taking everyone from Overwatch 1, moving them to 2, probably bringing the maps back too, and then they're just adding more. So they're basically doing what they were already doing with 1, with constant updates, adding maps and characters, but they're just making it into a new game and then packaging it with PvE, which is cool. PvE is cool, but now you're going to sell me this for $60 or $70 if I'm on next gen. It's like, we could have just kept going with Overwatch 1.
It's not like you're introducing a new engine to the game. Like, it's Overwatch. It's like cartoony. Like, you're not gonna be like made in Unreal 7 with fucking RTX technology. You know, like
it's the same shit. It's just up-res. It just looks better, kind of. You can't even fucking tell the difference because Overwatch 2 isn't one of those games. Like, it's not. It's cartoony as fuck. Like, it doesn't look realistic. You're not gonna notice a big difference in graphical change because it already looks great. I love Overwatch 1. Like, Crystal plays the shit out of that game. That's like one of her favorite games of all time. She's always playing that shit.
Torbjorn ready to work.
Like, I love Overwatch 1. The way they're going about this just seems like a money-hungry decision.
It honestly is, because in like that, I feel like from our perspective, like the consumer perspective, it's almost insulting, because I remember like I'm a Overwatch like veteran when it comes to that. Like, I remember when Bastion had a fucking shield attached to like beta fucking Overwatch, right? So like I've been there through the development, and like I put it down and picked it back up again here and there.
I played the beta too.
Yeah, so like you don't need it's 100% a business like money hungry decision, because I don't know, it goes back to that one discussion we had about like video game historians and like just like the annals of video games and how much of an impact they've had on society. But like when you try to like cut support from older games, like one, you're crippling the community, because what if somebody can't afford Overwatch 2? You're just gonna like be like, hey, suck, right?
Yeah.
Like, right. I don't know.
There's the counter argument where it's like, well, you've gotten all this free content, like we've given you all this shit for free, and I guess that's true, but also y'all make money.
That's your job. Like, what? Hold on, what?
Like y'all make so much money off of loot boxes and people buying skins because they're obsessed with that shit. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you got money there already, and also y'all could have just kept Overwatch 1 fucking PvP and just kept updating it, and then you could have taken that and then made it look better for next gen consoles, and then just came out with PvE as a separate thing. Charge people for like $30, half a game.
Yeah, do a battle pass.
Here's single player.
Like not don't do a battle pass, Jesus Christ. But like but the same style of where like what oh my god, what were they called? Season pass like type thing, where like you would pay an extra $30 or $40 or whatever for like the guaranteed DLC. Just use that, because you're really only getting half of a game with Overwatch 2 if you only care about a certain aspect of it.
And yeah, and also like when it comes to, I don't want to like undersell Overwatch 2 multiplayer because I don't know what all is going to be in it. I don't know how many characters they're going to add, and I don't know how many maps. I know they're changing the game modes and how the game modes work. I don't remember the specifics, but a lot of stuff is changing. So it is going to be kind of like a new game in a way, but it still could have just been Overwatch 1, I think. I don't know. I feel like this all just could have been updates, and then PvE could have just been a separate release.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. Well, because like as soon as I caught wind or like heard about the PvE aspect of it, I just immediately, like, my brain immediately went to like, oh, it's just Junkenstein, but it's like a full game of Junkenstein, like type stuff.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna, like I said, if they're gonna deep dive into the story and like that, you're gonna play through like the heroes, all like you're gonna get lore about how Overwatch was formed. Like, yeah, I'll probably buy it and play it, but
I mean, yeah. To be fair, it does depend on what is PvE. Like, is it just Junkenstein game modes? Because that's kind of a cop out in my opinion. But
100%, 100%.
If you're giving us like a single player campaign, we got cutscenes and stuff. That would be.
Or even like I would actually more so prefer. Well, I mean, I still love the single player aspect of it, but like if you had a co-op multiplayer, like online co-op thing where you all like are playing specific heroes, like a Halo thing, like you're playing it together online, like I'd love that. Like that. Because I forget the one event. It was like, oh god, the Omega 13, or I forget what it was called. But it was like you were all the Overwatch heroes, and you got the classic skins of like Soldier 76 before he fucking put a mask on, and he was, you know, and then like Mercy when she was like Dr. Angela or whatever. Like you kind of got like a snippet into Overwatch's history as like why it was formed to fight the robot menace and stuff like that. But if that's the game, like I'd fucking play that in a heartbeat. Like I'd buy that off the rip. I mean, I haven't bought a lot of a lot of Activision games. I haven't used Battle.net in a hot minute because Call of Duty is garbage to me anymore, honestly. So like, and I don't play WoW. I'm not 13 anymore, so like haven't really opened Activision in a while.
Last Activision game that I bought was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. And I'll leave it at that. I'll just never buy another game. That game was incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my rant on Overwatch 2. I hope the best for it. It does sound good that they're like, hey, we want to focus on PvE more, so we'll give you multiplayer because it's almost ready. So at least it sounds like they're trying to not release a half-assed product, so that's always a good thing.
In today's day and age, yeah, like Jesus Christ, with how like, especially on PC gaming, with how like early access has become the industry standard, like,
which is, in my opinion, annoying. But
like, I like early access only because it's fully upfront with you, where it's like, look, dude, give us $30, you'll get the game as it is. We'll give you updates and stuff like that. Because a lot of the games I've played on Steam, like as of late, all the way back to like Valheim and stuff, like when it came out, was like they were just straight up like, look, dude, this is not a full game, just so you know. And I'm like, all right. And then like when I've had my fill, you know, I consider it kind of an investment, only because when the game becomes a 1.0, like I was one of the pioneers of PUBG, baby, like back when it was a fucking early access PC game and it ran like dog shit. You had to turn all your settings all the way down to low regardless of what graphics card you had because the game just was not optimized. Like, yeah. And now look at it, it's a fucking pachinko fucking machine now. Like, China's making so much money off of PUBG.
Hell yeah. I don't mean to stop the conversation, but I really have to pee and I want to get another beer. So stall.
Do that.
I can't hear you like you can hear me when you run away, so
that's fine. That's fine.
Just shoot from the hip.
I will shoot from the hip.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I don't want to run into the PS5 news only because I would really like William to be here. So another thing too, they're gonna hear me mute and not mute a lot, just because my daughter is getting me sick. Because children are disgusting. I love my daughter, but children children are gross. And it's not even her, like other children. Like my daughter, same. Other children, disgusting. So I guess what we can talk about will probably, children do in fact equal germs. Thank you, Twitch chat. So there's that. They're cesspools. But what we can talk is probably more Elden Ring, right? So I'll tell you right now what's going on. I'm on my way. I'm doing my thing, right? I'm vibing out. I'm living. I go down to fight Radon. And this is going to be a lore dump, and hopefully William doesn't come back to this and I don't ruin anything in the story for him. Or Crystal, you know, if you care about the lore. But, so I found out, did a little bit of research, right? Right? Okay, all right, Joe. Evie is also not germ, right? My daughter, Evie, no germ. Other kids, germ. So Radon, or Star-Scourged Radon, is a boss that is in Elden Ring, right? He's optional, too. You don't have to kill him. You don't have to beat him, right? No big deal. A lot of Dark Souls games are like that. But, so, when it comes to how Radon, or why Radon is one of those, like feels bad memes, because he's one of the hardest bosses in the fucking world. It's so fucking goddamn infuriating, to the point where the game gives you 7 to 10 to 12 different summons that you can summon in for this specific situation, where normally you can, like, you know, summon in like 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 for like multiplayer and stuff, but right, so the reason is Radon wants to die. He's like, hey dude, I'm done. I fucking hate living. My life is in shambles, right? Fucking kill me. So he holds a festival every year. Oh, you came back to that? Okay. So I was talking about Star-Scourged Radon, the optional boss in Elden Ring that I'm about to fight tonight, probably after stream, hopefully, right? And the lore behind it as to why you're actually the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to finish it, actually. Yeah. Huh? So I'm going to finish it right now, actually.
Okay.
So because the reason you're the bad guy is this man wants to die. And he's such a fucking powerhouse, right? That he has become a master of gravitational sorcery, right? If you've played Elden Ring, or like maybe you know, William, the one magic that's purple and like throws rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's a master of that. And the reason he studied it so much and is a master of it is, this is the fucking wildest reason in the world, right? He loves his horse so much that because he's so massive, he uses gravitational magic to keep himself from killing his horse when he gets on it, because he's so fucking massive, right?
That's like wholesome and fucked up.
It is. It's so wholesome. He's like, I love my horse so much, I need to use him. I don't want to kill him because I'm a fucking thick boy, so I'm going to use magic to stop that, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is because of how Elden Ring's lore works with how the ring broke and all that stuff, and he's a shard bearer, right? Is he basically got divorced from one of the queen, like the queen of Elden Ring. And he's basically living in squalor. He's like he's the boss of Caelid, which makes so much more sense now that you're looking into it. Is like why he's like depressed. It's like a theme for depression, right? But he's so powerful that he can hold the stars from orbiting, like in alignment, right? Hold them where they're at, because the moon, the boss at the academy that you'll fight in the lake area, he's holding the stars in place to weaken her. Right? So this motherfucker is bussin' when it comes to being powerful. But he wants to die because he hates his life. So he holds a festival every year, which is why this is the one boss fight in this game where the mechanics go out the window, where you can summon 8 to 10 different NPCs to help you kill him. Because he holds a festival, like a tournament, like a festival, to be like, hey, everybody that's fucking, big boy from the land, please come kill me. Try. And he gives you a fucking fair fight, right? Or, he's a fucking son of a bitch. But, yeah. So the reason behind, like, why it's so sad is because the dude wants to die, but the reason he wants to die is because his divorce went pretty shitty, but also he's a master of gravitational sorcery, so he doesn't kill his horse with his dummy thick ass. And there's that. And I'm glad that you're back so we can roll into news.
That was incredible. Thank you for that
you're welcome.
storytelling. leaving you just by yourselves to talk, like I have full confidence in that shit. Like if anyone can do it, you can.
I have never taken an improv class in my life, and I probably should, because I feel like in like the college classes that I take, I don't read the book ever.
Yeah.
I bullshit a lot of my papers, and it works out pretty well, which, you know, probably not something I should admit on the internet, but at the same time, what does that tell you about the American college education system? So, with that, the PS5 exclusive Forspoken has been delayed until October 11th.
Yes, sir. Real quick, before we jump into that, I want to address the chat. Rusty Bojango, this is a podcast.
Rusty Bojangles, that's my boy.
Yeah, podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Talk about video games and video game news and stuff like that. But yeah, PS5 exclusive Forspoken has been delayed until October 11th. If you don't remember what Forspoken is, I believe we saw it at a PlayStation event, either a PlayStation event or E3. You're muted. Reverse.
I thought it was State of Play.
I think it was either a state of play or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, they showed off this game where you're this girl and you get dropped into this like big open world fantasy. You get taken from the modern world into this fantasy world, and she's like, "Yo, what the fuck? What the hell is this?" Like, it's super vulgar, like edgy, like narration.
Beware of
like
edgelord.
Yeah, literally. So it's that game that's been delayed. This game is being developed by Luminous Productions, who only has worked on Final Fantasy 15. They were one of the studios to work on that. This is a Square Enix game, by the way.
That's mega edgelord, because Final Fantasy 15 was like just a My Chemical Romance concert for like 4.5 hours at the end of the game. So there's that.
Dude, super side note, Crystal bought My Chemical Romance tickets today.
Where y'all going? You want to meet up? I'll go. I don't give a shit.
Dude, Nashville, let's go. Meet up.
That's all right, I'll go down.
You better buy tickets soon, because they're selling.
No shit. Bro, don't talk to me about being in ticket queues, all right? I bought tickets to a BTS concert, and that was the most stressful fucking... I've been deployed, and that was the most stressful moment of my life, was those BTS tickets.
That's like an Elden Ring boss in itself.
No, it honestly is. Like, my butthole was puckered for like 3 hours while I was in queue. Like...
But yeah, going back, so Luminous Productions, this is their first like actual debut game. But yeah, they said they want to make sure this game is polished, and getting it right is important to them, and that's great to hear this day and age, with your Cyberpunk 2077s and your Battlefield 2042s. It's nice to hear a studio come out and say, hey, we don't want to give you a shitty, undeveloped product. So good on Luminous. Take all the time you need. In my opinion, delays are always good. It sucks that you have to wait longer for a game that you want, but in the end, delays are always a good thing. It always, not only does it help the development of the game, it takes stress off of these people developing these games, because they don't have to crunch to reach a date. You know, these people still have families and real lives to go live outside of developing these video games that we love to play. So it's like, look, take all the time y'all need. Like, these people put in so much work just for our entertainment, literally. So it's like, they deserve it. Take your fucking time on these video games. EA, God damn it, EA.
Take a fucking page out of the book, you motherfuckers. But no, it's honestly like supremely refreshing when a studio is like, look, dude, we're trying, we're gonna pull back, we're gonna do some fucking we're gonna push some stuff out only because we know that we're not where we need to be.
Yeah.
But also say that in a heartfelt manner, because EA does that a lot with Battlefield. They're like, with the Battlefield delays, they're like, oh yeah, we're pushing it back because we want to make sure it's right, and then it happens and they're like, yeah, it's good, and we're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, we worked on it. We're like, no, you like, it's like calling off work to be like, hey, I'm gonna go do school, but then you just like fuck off and get blasted, snort coke off a stripper's ass, and you come back to work and they're like, hey man, how was your paper? And they're like, what paper? Like, that's basically EA's fucking take on video games. It's like, they're gonna take time to develop it, but then just go home. Like,
no, yeah, there's real delays, like this Forspoken one, that's delaying it months out. And then there's an EA delay where they're like, hey, we're going to delay Battlefield 2042 by 1 month.
Because we want more money.
To do?
It's not going to do anything. It doesn't do anything. It never has done anything. It never will do anything.
It obviously didn't. The proof is in the pudding, dude. It didn't do anything.
Wow, that was the most old man saying that I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
I brought out the white dad saying.
Hold on there, Buster.
I strapped on my fucking white New Balances, fired up the grill.
Put the jean shorts on and the Old Navy flag t-shirt and said, you know what?
Threw that quote right at you.
Hold on there, buddy. Check it out, Buster. The proof's in the pudding.
Whoa, slow down, bucko.
Yeah, bucko.
You can look at it, fucking turn to EA. Look here, Squirt.
Look here, Squirt. Check it out, son.
But
yeah, no, EA has that. They're like notorious for that. My eye is really red because I had a hair in it. And I rubbed it a lot, and I'm looking at it on camera now, and it's like a big red spot. My bad for derailing the conversation. No, so like EA does that. But I mean, you could conversely, and I'm not defending EA in any manner. Like I said, the only time you'll ever hear me do that was back a couple episodes ago, and I'm never gonna do it again.
That was last.
You're right, it was last episode. I was thinking of the fact that we had to take a break for the parts. And anyway, I defended EA last episode in part 2 of the games that made us because of the Ukraine situation and their stance on it. So that's cool. Yeah. Be good guys. Way to go for once in your fucking miserable lives. But conversely, when it comes to developers doing that, you could bring up CD Projekt Red where they're like, hey, we're pushing it back, right, because of this and this and this, and we want to make sure the game ships all well and good like everybody else does. Mm-hmm. And then they do the same thing where I know that since CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077 is in the rear view now, so to speak, when it comes to not the height of controversy. I know that dev can make that game be good. I knew that they had the ability to do it, but the fact that I feel like their expectations were extremely were so much more higher than what the devs had as a timeline,
Yeah, with the Cyberpunk situation, because we never fully went into this on
the
podcast.
Yeah, we didn't do a deep dive in it at all.
We weren't, I think this happened around when we weren't really doing any episodes.
We had a hiatus.
Yeah, but the blame for Cyberpunk 2077 is on leadership, dude. It's not on these teams. They were
I don't want that to don't. Yeah, I'm not blaming the devs themselves at all. I'm not blaming the dudes on the floor fighting, taking fucking grenades in the trenches for the fucking. Yeah. I'm blaming the leadership of the company being we're gonna have this is the timeline, and they're like, hey, it's not gonna work, and then they're like, too bad, make it work, and then you deal with the situations that they dealt with, because back in the actual army before I was a recruiter, not to talk about work or anything, but I've dealt with that a lot as a mechanic. I'd be like, hey man, hey sir, this isn't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go because of this specific situation, and they'd be like, okay, that's cool, make it happen, and I'm like, no, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. It's physically and statistically impossible, and they're like, figure it out, Sarnt, you can make it happen, and I'm like, I don't know about that one, but okay, let me try it.
But and that's what these leaders of these companies will do. They'll be like, the devs will come to them and be like, hey, we this part of this game, this thing
this no work.
It's this thing's not gonna be done, and they're just like, well, do this instead. Cut this part out and then do this. So then the game's gonna lack on this side instead. They instead of being well, maybe we should push the game out a little bit and give y'all more time to work on what you need to work on. And I understand Cyberpunk took fucking 10 years to make, but look, all of that hype built up for all those years just for it to crash land. And to be fair, it still sold insanely well, but that's because everyone got fucking hated, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. It came to I think we talked about it a little bit on the cast. I personally did not have any qualms with the game because obviously it was the first time I had experienced it or anything. I had no preconceived notion of what the game was going to be. But I also had no technical issues initially because of the engine they introduced and RTX and all that and ray tracing. I was all about it. But I don't know if you saw me do this on the Skype cam. I lit the lightsaber up on the wall because a prime example of devs being put in bad positions because of leadership is, and I will quote this, is Knights of the Old Republic 2, right? So this is a tangent. Why? I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
right?
let me know, because I don't know that.
So Knights of the Old Republic 2 is the sequel to KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, which was fucking one of the best-selling games of all time. It was a Star Wars RPG if you hadn't played it. Big spoiler, right? There's a big twist ending that goes down in history as one of the biggest fucking, like, what the fuck in games ever, right? KOTOR 2 came out, and it delved into, it was expanded Star Wars universe stuff, which was like the same thing that KOTOR 1 was, but KOTOR 2 came out like a year after KOTOR 1 was released. Mm-hmm. So the game had so much content that was cut out completely from the game. Data miners went through and found it, and there's actually on the Steam marketplace or the Steam workshops, like where modders do their thing, right? There's an unofficial, which is another thing that goes back to like devs being shitty and then the community fixing the games for them, i.e. Bethesda. There's an unofficial mod, like unofficial patch mod that a lot of people recommend on KOTOR 2. For like, it's got like over like fucking 1.9 million downloads on the Nexus or whatever, I think. But it adds all the content back. Like, it's a little bit, I don't want to say choppy, but it's a little bit less polished, so to speak, because it's a bunch of modders working on it. And even then, like, it's not even that. Like, I say less polished because you're looking at a game that's like fucking 20 years old at this point. But it adds all of the cut content from the game back into it, which actually gives you a lot more closure if you start a new save file and use that mod to actually start the file and play the game the way it's supposed to be played, because it adds an extra like fucking 6 to 7 to maybe 10 hours of content.
That's
right?
insane.
Yeah, it is, because for an RPG especially, right, for something like that, you get closure and lore and stuff like that you don't normally get. So for KOTOR 2, which is like, I don't want to deep dive it, but like there's a whole portion that they cut out of the game that when it released that people brought back. I don't know if you know who HK-47 is, or like what HK-47 is. Okay.
I don't think so.
So HK-47 is an assassin robot or assassin droid that you get in your party. That's like dark side aligned or whatever. But it's a lot of memes that come from like KOTOR 1 and 2, where he's like, he responds as a computer. So you're like, hey, who is your old master? He'll be like, statement. This robot does not have the ability, like. But he calls humans meatbags. But you like get into the actual HK factory in KOTOR 2 to kind of like break down where Darth Revan got the original HK bot from and like all that stuff, because he's an assassin. So like you get so much more lore dumped on you from the restored mod than you do with the game where it's not even there, and you're just like, yep, you just blow past it and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go fight the bad guy now. Like, yeah, which is insane to me that like. That's the same situation where like you blame devs on the surface, but if you break it down and like look at the leadership, that's who's actually to blame, because they're telling you to cut corners for the plans that like you actually made. Like you are the ones making this game, and you're like, this is what we have. They all of the writers and the content creators who are like, this is what the game's going to be. The actual publishers are like, no, you should actually do this and make it this long because the game needs to come out next week or whatever. It's exactly. Asinine, dude.
And I feel like a lot of the times when these games are released incomplete, the blame goes definitely like all on the fucking devs. And like these people get these jobs because this is what they like doing. Like this is their passion. Like that this is their shit. They don't want to release a bad game. No one wants to release a bad game. And no one wants to play a bad game, but it's these people at the fucking top that are like, we gotta satisfy shareholders, we gotta hit quotas, we gotta do all this, and it's like, all right, but what about the product? Because like y'all are just throwing that like, but also the problem is, us as consumers, we fucking eat up anything, we buy it anyways.
If you looked at my transaction history when Battlefield 2042 came out, you'd probably be like, what's wrong with you, bro? Because I spent $97 with tax and all that on Battlefield 2042 because I thought that this was the fucking one, man. Like,
but are you to blame for that if the game was marketed? False marketed. Like, is that your fault?
For false marketing? No, I don't think at all. Am I to blame if the game shipped out the way it was supposed to be and I just happened to not like it myself? Yeah, I'm totally at fault. If the publishers, I'm not going to say the devs because I know they're never at fault, really, unless they like put bullshit in there, right? But like, they're hard workers, so I know where they're coming from. If they gave it their all and the publisher was like, this is what you're going to put out and this is what they're going to get, and I dump this $100 pre-order because they throw out fucking sick ads and they tell me this is exactly what it's going to be like and here you go, and then I pick it up and I'm like, what is this fucking pile of dog shit you gave me? No, I don't think I'm at fault at all.
And it sucks because, like, with Battlefield trailers, like, they're really good at making trailers, and they get you hyped.
They're so good at making trailers, but they're so fucking ambiguous, and I feel like we as a Battlefield community need to, like, get to that point where we just don't fall for the ruse anymore. Because I feel like at that point now, maybe you do make a valid point. It might end up being our fault after, like, just looking at the track record. Because EA has a track record, obviously. I mean, you know my vendetta. But like, they have a track record of like bad games, but then there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 here and there where you're like, oh fuck, this is a diamond in the rough. This is a fucking goddamn gemstone. Like, I love this game.
The problem is, well, not necessarily the problem, but like the common thread through that is like, oh, EA games are shit, except for these games that are ran by Vince Zampella. Like, it's so true. Apex, Jedi Fallen Order, Titanfall 1 and 2, like, all amazing games, and that's like EA's best shit. So it's like, well,
and then you get it and then you're like, why, what how, what happened?
We get to Battlefield, you go from Apex, you're like, this is one of the best like battle royales ever, maybe the best, and then we go to fucking Battlefield 2042 and it's
I can't even fucking die, right? Like, I can't be revived. Like,
I don't even know how many kills I have.
There's that too. Like, I'm just counting, like, I got a fucking, like, on the wall, I'm like, skirt, like, fucking.
They fixed. And to be fair,
how long after the fact though? Like,
I did play it the other day. The scoreboard looks really nice. Like, good job, y'all did it finally.
Like, I'm gonna say good job, but like, I would have said good job like fucking 8 months ago when the game was supposed to be what it was. Like.
The thing I hate about 2042 is I like the core gameplay. I fucking love what's deep under the bullshit. It's like,
I know, it's
like, come on,
this
would be
like,
so good.
It's like a relative or like a drunk aunt that comes to like your wedding or something, and you're like, I want to like you because I know that you're cool, but like, you need to fucking dial back on the tequila, fucking Becky, because like, fuck, man, like, that's all it is. Because like, I do, like, deep down inside, like, treat like an estranged family member. Like, I want to like Battlefield 2042, but I have not picked it up at all recently. Because I still feel like slighted by it. Like, there's like a vendetta. I'm like, fuck you, no, you're not gonna get that from me.
I like the foundation that's there. Like, it just sucks that I'm gonna have to wait like a year before it's really good. Like,
because then like the community falls off.
Yeah, fucking Battlefield 5 is popping off right now, and people are like, this game is so good now. It's like, but when it came out, that game was shit. Like, why?
It's so good because you got dealt a bigger pile of dog shit, and you're like, that's actually not that bad of a piece of dog shit. I'm gonna go back to that. But I'll tell you what's actually bumping too is fucking 3 and 4 on the servers. Battlefield 3 and 4 are fucking blowing the fuck up. Which maybe it's EA's master plan all along to like be like, oh, we're gonna get them now. We're gonna get nickel and dime them when it comes to 3 and 4 because they're gonna pick it back up. It's gonna be on a Steam sale or some shit, and we're gonna keep the servers live because people are playing it. But like, I don't know, they're fucking, they got horse blinders on for like a 5 to 10 year plan because people are gonna come back to 2042 in like 4 or 5 years and be like, this fucking game slaps. Oh my god, it's so good.
Exactly. This time next year, 2042 will be good. And we can bring this clip back up next year. 2042 will be a good game by then. Probably. Hopefully. I don't know. They're going really slow right now.
I say, like, we'll call it, because I remember 2018, when Battlefield 5 came out, we were like, oh, the Pacific is coming out soon. It's going to be so good. And then I never even got to touch any content from the Pacific because I was like, you said March and it's fucking June, and still.
If only every launch could be Battlefield 3. That game had no problem.
That game
It was a
shipped.
perfect video game.
That game shipped fucking perfect. There was, not a fucking single issue at all.
I mean,
and it had a campaign, so there's the problem. They just didn't have a campaign.
Bugs, but like,
but they were like,
they weren't bad.
That was like a thing that EA was like notorious for. We're like, oh, I can't wait to load into fucking Battlefield 3 and see what dumb bugs we can find. But I wasn't mad about it because I knew it was a thing that happened. But like the 2042 bugs are like fucking game breaking. Like I know they've probably fixed a lot more now recently, but one of the big ones of like release day or like the pre-release was like you get downed and you can't get fucking defibbed because they're like I don't have an icon, bro. I'm sorry. And I'm like, but then again, that wouldn't even happen because you can't talk in game, so it doesn't matter.
And they have fixed bugs. They've done a good bit of patches, but it has kind of slowed down. And it's like, all right, like come on, like we got a scoreboard for the most recent update was a scoreboard, and that's been the first update in like a month. It's like, dude, come on, like, sure, the scoreboard.
I really don't care about extra content when it comes to like the roadmap or like the season 1, season 2, or whatever they want to do. I want them to put the game back to where it was supposed to be at, including voice chat, all that stuff. And then we'll talk about the fucking roadmap after the fact. Like when I pick the game back up and start playing it again the right way, you know, then I'll be okay with being like, hey, where's the score? Or hey, where's the roadmap? Like I don't care at that point.
I just want Portal stuff. Like just give me Portal shit. Like I love Portal, regardless of how 2042 plays. Portal's awesome. It just needs more stuff to play, honestly. But
yeah, like if you dumped out some like maps that I know you have because you're EA, that'd be all about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I have to pee, so if you want to keep talking,
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. But this all ties back in to this Forspoken delay, which is crazy. I know this whole Battlefield rant is like we went way off topic, but not really. The way we are right now with Battlefield is because they didn't do what the Luminous devs are doing right now. They're taking their time with this game Forspoken, and they're delaying it, and they're putting more work into it, and they're making sure it's going to be a good, complete product by the time it comes out. And like, if EA or DICE, whoever, like, if they would just take a step back and be like, maybe we shouldn't force this game to come out. Maybe we shouldn't try to compete with Halo Infinite because we're going to get eaten up. Maybe we shouldn't compete with Call of Duty because we're going to get eaten up. It doesn't matter what product we put out. We are the lesser of the three. They have to, like, realize that. Like, I hate to say it, Battlefield is one of my favorite franchises. It's never going to beat Halo. It's never going to beat Call of Duty. It just doesn't compete. Like, Battlefield's too niche. And EA keeps trying to compete with these games. I'm like, dude, just stop. Like, Battlefield it has a big fan base, but it's more of a hardcore fan base. These people have been with Battlefield for a long time. There's a reason there's something called Battlefield veterans. Like, we just want a good game. Just give the Battlefield fans what we want. Like, man, it's crazy. If they would just take a page out of Luminous's book, or the countless other devs that delay games and they're like, we're going to take more time, we just wouldn't be in this situation. But they want to compete so bad. They want to sell more than these games. Halo Infinite had way too much hype behind it. There was no way they were going to beat out that game. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah, that was a mountain that they should not have tried to climb, to be completely honest with you.
No. And also, the state of Halo Infinite, we can talk about that real quick.
Yeah. Woo! The community's on fire right now.
Yeah, the community is going nuts, and rightfully so. I mean, we still have 6 maps, a few game modes.
Fucking 6 maps that slap. What do you mean?
How are y'all gonna like drop this incredible Halo game? One, in my opinion, the best feeling Halo game, and then they basically just ghosted us. Like, we haven't gotten anything since. It's like, what are we doing?
New phone, who dis?
Yeah, like, come on, man. Yeah, Halo Infinite state right now is pretty bad too. People are very upset. But hey, we're getting a Halo TV show. That looks cool.
You know what? That's a fair trade-off, honestly. Like, I'm so
Not
excited
really.
for the Halo trade-off or the Halo TV show. Like,
Yeah. That's our rant about incomplete games. And yeah, that's all. So I don't know what you want to do.
well, I mean, it's a pretty good timepiece point if you take the 20 minutes that we were not doing anything. We are figuring out the technical difficulties of the chat going fucking bananas.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to shout out. Last week we covered, game companies pulling out of Russia because of Ukraine and stuff. I wanted to mention that again, but so many companies, like almost every video game company has done it at this point, and I just want to say, fuck yeah, like good shit on this whole industry. It's amazing. Fuck Russia, fuck Putin, fuck what's happening right now.
Yeah,
we stand with Ukraine.
Yes, we do. The one thing that sucks about that, which not them pulling out, but I guess essentially too, is that not to get like welcome to CNN, on you or anything like that, but a lot of the digital services for the area have been shut off. So I actually was reading a thread today or yesterday about PayPal does not work in Russia anymore. PayPal has shut off services, which is a good stance, like fuck you guys, eat shit. But it fucks up the economy when it comes to, like now, like we're live on Twitch. The Twitch streamers in Russia aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting any, which really sucks because that just shows like as far as like the oligarchy when it comes down to like Putin's a piece of shit and all that jazz. But the only people who are affected by this particular, stance of aggression against Ukraine are honestly the little people in Russia, where like their money means absolutely nothing. There's no more. Like the ruble I could wipe my ass with 1,000 rubles, and the toilet paper that I could have bought is worth more. Like, I was reading a thing from an economic standpoint. The fucking Roblox currency, the Robuck, is worth more than Russia's actual dollar right now.
Really?
Yes. Which is fucking insane. Yeah, when you think about it, because the only people, like I said, that are affected by it are the Russian population. Which sucks because you have to cripple the economy of the country from a political and a socio-economical standpoint, like when it comes to like fighting a war and whatnot, and like tariffs and all that. But it fucks the little guys over, which honestly is like the worst thing too, because there's so many people in that country, in Russia, actually a good 99% that are like people have compared this to like Vietnam with like USA. Like Russia's like, why are you doing this? Ukraine's like, why are you doing this? And the only person that's like doing it is Putin. So they're just like, we don't want to be there. Like Russian soldiers are dropping their fucking AKs and like going to hang out with the Ukrainians and like having fucking borscht and shit. Like they don't want to be there. Like,
I mean, that's what happens when you send your soldiers in and you lie to them about why they're going in there. Like, no one wants a part of this shit. Like, except for Putin. Like, that's the only reason this shit is happening.
I mean, I'm sure that I'm not defending him, but I'm sure there are a couple of like people involved in like the oligarchy of like Russia's.
Well, yeah.
Like people who are like up there who are like, yeah, we have to go find the Nazis, and then Ukraine's like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah. But like, it sucks that the Russian people are suffering from this. Like, there's so much shit happening in their economy now, but I mean, it's what the world has to do without fucking starting.
So this kind of like, from a military standpoint too, this kind of actually show, because everybody's afraid of Russia when it comes to like just. I remember there's a big thing with the army, like as a recruiter, where people were like, the army's ads are so stupid. You look at Russia's ads and like they're like, oh, people want to join the Russian army. Clearly, they are not as equipped as we thought they were, if you look at any type of news, because they're fucking sending their soldiers over there in like Scooby-Doo vans and shit and not BMPs, and then like Russian or Ukrainian farmers are walking up to tanks and like being like, knock knock motherfucker, get out, and they're stealing tanks, and then like the president of Ukraine's like, hey man, that's cool, it's a tax write-off, you can have it, who cares?
And that's what's crazy. Like, growing up and everything, like you always hear like Russia's the big bad fucking army. But
Yeah,
it's like,
you get these like fucking preconceived notions of like the Russian soldiers like fucking smashing logs on each other and shit.
Look at every battlefield game, you're fighting the big bad Russian army. Like, but it's just like, damn, y'all really.
They're just like us. Like, they don't want to do this shit. Like, they're just there to get some free college, man. Like,
yeah, man. No, I feel bad for the soldiers that are in that shit that don't even want to be there too. It's just so shitty for everyone involved.
I don't want to get like super political either, but also too, this kind of like coincides with that, right? If you're a listener and you firmly believe that the president of the United States has a singular say in the gas prices of the country, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're a fucking idiot, and I'm sorry that like I have to be that brutally honest, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Sure, whoever's in office may sway how oil companies work, but check it out, capitalism, baby. Oil is a privatized industry in the United States. So, therefore, the country, the government, whether it's the federal or the legislative, like, state governments, have literally no fucking say in the oil. It's a privatized like company, or it's a couple companies, right? So the lobbyists will go off of how, like the world climate is, and they'll see, oh, we're cutting all ties with Russia, so imports are going to be high, so I'm going to raise prices. But at the same time, what do you think America's going to do with that? Like, you're like, oh, why isn't fucking Biden doing anything? Like, don't get me wrong, I can't really speak when it comes to like the presidency, obviously because of my job obligations, but like the president's not going to be like, all right, boys, we're activating the 101st and we're gonna paratroop into fucking Russia. Like, that's not how that works, man. Like, I don't know what you think, like how you think that would go, but that's not how it's going. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Because the one thing that nobody wants is clearly a fucking nuclear war. Like, I don't want to be living a fucking Fallout scenario in the next 2 weeks, so it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
But yes, the president does not control the gas prices. Biden's not in the office with a fucking dial and be like, fuck them motherfuckers. He's not turning it up to 11 and being like, you want $5 a gallon? Eat shit. Like, that's 1,000% a privatized industry. So there's that.
And it's so funny because living here in the South, I don't know if you have these, but on our gas pumps, people are putting stickers on there, and it's a sticker of Joe Biden saying, I did that. Have you seen those?
No, but like, so I'll tell you one thing that fucking completely blows my mind, and this is also a tangent, but whatever. I've seen people, like, so, like, I'm in Pennsylvania, but, so, if you know anything about geography and the history of the United States, right, the Civil War, the Mason-Dixon line ends at the border of Virginia, right? I'm in Pennsylvania. North of the Mason-Dixon line, there are people flying the rebel flag, and I'm like, do you understand that you're in the wrong area? Number one. One, you're a fucking idiot, because that's not.
No, they don't understand.
I know. It's so funny because they're like, the South's gonna rise again. I'm like, motherfucker, you're on the northeast coast. Like, you're up here with the winter. Like, who are you talking to right now? Like,
yo, real talk. If you fly that flag, fuck you.
Yeah, I don't care about whatever sponsors we've got lined up in the future, which, by the way, we do. If you fly the rebel flag, stop listening, because you're a piece of shit, and I don't like you. I don't care about you.
Yeah, you are not welcome.
I don't care about your opinion. You're not welcome here. Eat a dick and die. I don't. What do you want me to say? Like,
dude, we just went from Super Pixels Weekly
to
Political Weekly.
Yeah, welcome to Super Political Weekly, a podcast about.
But it does. It fucking all ties back into the video game industry, and what stances these companies are taking.
We're gonna reel it back in real quick to actually get
these companies are still taking a stance on the Russian-Ukraine war, and that's important. And there's really important shit going on in the world. And like we said last week, we have some sort of a platform, even if it's 9 people in the Twitch chat. Like, we can at least voice how we feel. So, that's it.
Your wife brought up a good point about saying there's houses in your area that are still dedicated to Trump. And we have those too. And I'm just like, every time I drive past one, like on my way to work, I'm like, do you understand how, like, time works? Like,
No, there's a house like literally down the street from me, and there's a big ass sign in front of their house, and it says Trump won, save America.
First of all,
Dude,
no, he didn't. Second of all, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's
these people are a cult.
dude, so like
It's crazy.
so on my way to work, there's a back road that I drive down, and there's this truck, like a legitimate, like fucking 1982 square body Chevy truck, right? Painted and parked. Painted in a red, white, and blue, like red, cut white, cut like one. They fucked that truck up because they fucked up the paint. So there's that.
Yeah.
But then there's like they spray painted Trump 2020 on the side of it. Like not like a stencil, like legitimately like some fucking idiot was like psh, psh, and like it's parked and it's like the American flag's flying, which okay, cool, good for you, I guess. But then also like a Trump flag, like a Trump 2020 flag, and I'm like, bro, it's been fucking like 2 years, like fucking move the truck, paint it, park, like what are you doing?
Oh my god, dude, it's a cult. It really is
Like
at this point.
I love it because I just like it makes me feel like when I don't feel like I have my life together, I just drive to work and I'm like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, at least I'm not y'all. Like, it's crazy. It's like a cult of like 10 IQ people. Like, it's like,
No, yeah,
dude.
like there's thousands and thousands of people are there, but the cult IQ is collectively 10. So like that's good.
Holy shit.
Or even like and this is the last tangent I feel like we can talk about, like the Let's Go Brandon thing.
Oh my
Like,
god.
well, how they're like, yeah, haha, let's go Brandon, bro. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, it pisses you off, doesn't it? I'm like, no, you're fucking stupid. Like,
Haha, dude, such a good joke. And I'm just like,
no, man, it's not. Like, what are you talking about?
like, dude, fucking go do something. Like, who cares? Like, do something with your life. What are you doing?
Like, so they're winning that because, yeah, it pisses me off. And not the saying, like, I don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, well, you voted for Biden. I'm like,
yeah.
so? And they're like, well, you must fucking want to suck his dick. And I'm like, no, not at all. They're like, let's go Brandon. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. And they're like, it pisses you off, doesn't it? And I'm like, no. What's pissing me off is the fact that you think it pisses me off. Like, your stupidity is pissing me off. Yeah, let's go Brandon, bro. I won this fight. And I'm like, I guess, man. Yeah, you know what? Yep, you won. Way to go. You know who else won? Trump. You got it, bro. I got it. You're on top, man.
Yeah, he's our president. Yeah, sure, buddy.
He's working the shadow wings and he's running the country. Like, whatever, dude.
I would like to say like, oh, we're a video game podcast. We shouldn't talk about this stuff. But at the same time,
No,
I want to weed any people out that are those people. I don't want any of those people listening.
Yep. No, if you're listening, eat a dick, die.
Yeah.
But also, like, we'll know when we look at the analytics in like a week. We'll be like, okay, found him.
Yeah.
Weeded him out. Weeded the
I
week
don't
out.
give a shit. I don't want your view if you have those views.
Yeah, your ad revenue, as little as it is, your fucking 7 cents I get from you watching my Twitch stream, or like it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fucking singular fuck. I have a full-time job as a federal employee. Hashtag support the vets. So I bet that's a fucking huge conundrum for you to get over, is the fact that I'm not a Trumper. Oh my god. So yeah, go ahead and blow that little 10-watt fuse you got in your brain listening, and you're like, holy shit, he doesn't support Trump. He's in the military. What do I do? Do I say fuck the troops, or oh no? Like,
yeah, it's literally the red button meme. Like, oh,
yeah, like, do I push this button or do I push this button? Yeah, so like,
in the military, but he hates Trump.
If you're one of those people, weed yourself out. I'll let the trash take itself out, man. So anyway.
Big rants, but like, I'm just saying, like, it's super important shit that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it.
To circle it back to video games, yes. So the reason we went off on this big tangent is because of the fact that video game, I guess it goes back to that whole thing I said about like video games being a big part of the world and history and the economy. Russia's economy is crippled because of it, honestly. So then if you think about it, like, video games play one of the biggest parts in economies nowadays, right? Like, fuck you, mom and dad, telling me not to play Super Nintendo. Look at me now, like.
the video game industry is like as big as the movie industry at this point. So like them
If
taking
not,
a stance
if
is
not
important too.
bigger, like
Yeah,
honestly,
it probably is in some aspects. Like, but yeah, like them doing this makes an impact on their economy because fucking everyone plays video games like all around the world, dude. So yeah,
and you're like, no, I don't play video games. Super Pixels Weekly. I'm like, okay, well, you play Pokemon Go. You play
Exactly.
You play Clash of Clans.
you play fucking Candy Crush, dude.
You play Candy Crush.
I know you've played Tetris. We've all
Video
played
game. Yeah, there you go. I used to play Tetris in college, like before class or in between classes.
Yo, you played Tetris 99?
I did for like 7 minutes, and I was like, I'm getting fucking bullied. I don't want to do this anymore.
That shit's intense, dude.
Which there's another Russian cultural connection. Tetris was a Russian game developed, so there you go.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Russia's bullshit fucks me up because I've actually had this weird cultural connection to a lot of like Russian characters in video games and stuff. So now like it makes me really fucking be mad when I have to like finish Metro and I'm like, you fucking piece of shit.
yeah,
Like,
no, I had this thought the other day. I was like, since I'm streaming now, I'm like, oh man, what would be cool is if I stream all the Metro games. And then I'm like,
and
well,
you're like, wait, fuck.
like I shouldn't really do that right now. Like, no.
So
No.
I actually to bring it out, I remember I was trying to get involved, and this was 2019, the El Paso shooting. Remember that?
Yeah.
I know I do because I was there.
Yeah.
Not there, but I could have actually been there technically. I live like a couple blocks from the Walmart that got shot up. But I was like, I'm not a big streamer at all by any means. Like anybody that's in the chat is like, yeah, look at this fucking loser. But I was like, I'm gonna do a charity stream. You know, like anybody that like donates, I'm gonna fucking cut a big dumb check. You know, I'm gonna walk down and like just like help people out. I was playing Rainbow Six Siege, and I was like, maybe this is not what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Is this acceptable? Like,
And it's like, yeah, yeah, I get it. It's like you don't mean it. That
like I wasn't like, hey, it'd be funny to make fun of the shooting victims. That's not
Yeah.
that's not what I meant 100% at all. But then
But,
when I
I mean,
started
that-
playing it, like, I was getting into some rounds, and I was just like, this might not be a good idea.
But that's
Like,
literally like that's what's important about like me and you being white straight men, and we need to not be tone deaf to shit. So,
use the platform.
yeah, and it's important to be aware of all of that shit. So,
Straight. Speak for yourself.
well, I don't know how you're. Hey, to each his own. But you're muted.
I am. Wow, dude. Anyway, this has been an episode of Super. That's a good place.
Are
to
we
end.
done? Are we gonna wrap it?
I mean, yeah, we're about an hour and a half ish. So
All right.
probably a good place to end that. I can't wait to sift through all this footage.
All right. Let's wrap.
So how you doing? That was a good space of dead air.
Yeah. No. Like let's wrap it. I thought you were gonna jump into it.
Yeah, I was, but then I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, man, or something. But it was like quiet for a good like
No. I mean,
10 seconds.
All I have to say is follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/worldsofchaosgamer with 2 R's on the end. I literally just said something in chat. I'm about to go play Elden Ring probably with my wife. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna roll into Elden Ring after this, the cast stream as well. So yeah, if you're hanging out in
Yeah.
Twitch chat, you can watch me get fucking big mad, and then I'm gonna turn back all the notifications and everything, so you can fucking coffin dance me all you want with all your channel points. So there's
troll
that.
Donovan all day.
Yeah, please fucking make me put my fucking fist through my monitor. I'm so excited because I'm actually rolling up to like that boss I was talking about, Radon. I'm rolling up to that tonight, so I cannot wait to just literally fucking punch the camera and then just turn the stream off. So
yeah.
either way, all the social medias that we have, if you're listening, will be in the Twitch chat. Or I'm sorry, well, they are in the Twitch chat. They're going to be in the description below if you're listening. But also, this has been an episode of Super Pixels Weekly. So, all of our social medias are there. To kind of caveat it, follow William. Like we like to blow up X, and we're still blowing up X, but also blow up William on Twitch, because apparently this is like the niche that he wants to get into. So I'm all about it. I love it. We're gonna have a stream team.
I'm giving it a shot. And also Donovan was in my last stream, so who knows, he might pop in sometimes. We got to figure out your audio, but
yeah, I don't know what was up with that. That was kind of weird. Maybe I should just play PlayStation again when we stream.
Well, literally just plug your PlayStation, have that shit in on the side, just have the headset on or something. I don't know.
Well, if I do that, then I can't. I mean, I two headphones. But either way, yeah. So check out the social medias. Check out all of the extracurricular activities we do outside of the podcast, which is this Twitch stream if you're here in the chat, and if you're listening, in the description below, Williams will be there as well. Williams YouTube. I'm going to throw this out there. I want to plug it. I actually have been on my own trying to start up my old YouTube that I had. And if you are anybody that knows me, the only videos that are public on my old YouTube, which is just Pixels and Pints, is the Cuphead playthrough that I fucking stopped like 2 episodes in because I got so mad that I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So there's that. But also, the podcast, if you're listening, obviously you know where to find us. We're on every streaming platform. Also, make sure to check out the VODs after the fact, because we upload, if you're on the Twitch chat, all of this fucking fun glory that you see will be uploaded onto YouTube. It takes a second because YouTube likes to do its weird thing where it depreciates everything and it has to do an HD and SD version. So either way, when you see me on my Facebook doing my Facebook stuff as a millennial, as an elder millennial, just know that the VOD's coming up after the fact. So
check it out.
Yeah, check it out. We will catch you guys next week.
Yes, thanks for listening. That's it?
Beep, beep. It's cut.
All right, I gotta pee real quick. I'll be back.
All right, we're going to do the after show?
Oh, I'm just gonna talk to you for a second.
Oh, okay. That the Kenobi trailer dropped.
Dude, that trailer.
It's nothing but everybody. Every 5 minutes in my fucking ears. Hello there, hello there, hello there. That's all I hear. I love it.
Hello there.
Yep, there it is again.
Is that gonna show up in the audio recording?
Probably.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Honestly, dude, it's... There's a sub noise. Why? What? Where's this fucking fart noise coming from? What the fuck? I was fucking with the sound alerts dashboard, and it was like auto playing sounds that you could have, and it's just like a fart noise. It's like burnt, burnt, burnt.
Yeah.
Hello there.
We ruined the podcast. No. Podcast was ruined from the get go. That
Yeah.
Let's be completely honest.
The podcast has been ruined since episode 1.
And hard ruined.